YouTube family. It's been a while. I'm actually here at Curlfest, but I don't think you'd be able to tell because I'm this far away. So if you guys haven't realized, I'm here doing free makeup sessions for people who follow me on Instagram and subscribe to my YouTube channel, but we can't be in the park, so we had to move twice. But it's okay because we're set up. We're still here.
We out here.
We out here.
We out here.
Yeah, but love the people at Curlfest. These fine young people next to me, they had a real tent and someone took it. So I'm just, but you know, that's fine. I'm here. I'm gonna catch some footage because before I even got a chance to catch footage, we got informed that we had to move. So we're gonna get some cute photos. I ain't even gonna walk into the festival again. I'll wait.
We're claiming our bags, and you know what? Next year we'll be in the middle of the festivities area because we're gonna be walled up.
No. Next year they're gonna ask us to come.
Yes. Invited guests are welcome back, so yeah. But
yeah, you Curlfest people need to work on your attitude. That's all I gotta say about that. Because at the end of the day, you could be nicer instead of just walking away and not answering our question as to where we should be. But I'll leave it at that. Okay, bye. Okay, so you obviously saw that my Curlfest experience was a little bit rocky. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It was an event, if I do say so myself. I'm just gonna start from the very beginning and I'm just gonna keep it going. Give my thoughts on what I think they should change, how it was initially getting there, and all that kind of jazz. So, numero uno, obviously it's a park, and I guess in New York, they don't really expect a lot of people to go inside a park. I don't know. There obviously parking was awful. You had to walk like blocks to get there. So, but I feel like people in New York are really used to that kind of stuff. I'm not from New York. I'm not used to that. But it's whatever. It's okay. Like whatever. Got over that. Another thing about getting there was like there's no signs anywhere. Like the only couple of signs, like it's not until you get inside of Curlfest that there start to be signs that say Curlfest. But like, you know how if you're going to like a concert or even like church, guys, okay, church, at some churches they have signs that literally guide you to where you need to be going. There's no signs anywhere. We were kind of guessing like, okay, we'll just follow all the black people. You know what I mean? Like, we'll just follow the whole crowd of curly-haired girls. Obviously, we'll get led in the right direction. And so that was kind of like creepy. Once you got in, and not even got in, but like once you saw where registration is, there was like gates, but you didn't have to go. It wasn't like a gated area where you had to go through registration. Literally, the gates ended right before registration, like right before you'd reach registration, the registration line, and then you could just bypass the gates and go straight into the festival. So that was also like stupid. So you wouldn't have to wait in line for registration unless you really wanted your gift bag, and we'll get into the gift bags later. A lot of people were talking about that, like why didn't they let the VIPs and the other people who had to pay for a ticket, because they had like different levels of tickets that you could pay for that varied on the things you could do and stuff like that. But general admission, you didn't need a ticket. You didn't pay, you didn't need a ticket. You could just walk in and just come in, which was kind of discouraging because it was like, okay, like if I'm VIP, I paid for a gift bag, I paid for like special access to certain things, but all these general admissions people are getting in way before I am. So then by the time people got inside of the event to go to the vendors, the lines were ridiculous. Like, even where that Curlfest sign was in the little clip, the hashtag Curlfest white sign thing, that line, the little clip of me that was the line at like 12. Mind you, people were still in the registration line trying to get their bags, trying to get their tickets all situated. We ended up setting up camp like pretty much all the way in the back, I would say. We had some security guards like helped us bring our stuff and whatnot. Yeah, I don't even know if I could say it was the back, but once you got to that area, like, it was so hard to tell. Once you got to that area, it was very hard to tell what was or who was coming to the festival and who wasn't, if that makes any sense, because the park was fully open. Like, there were people with their families walking their dogs, walking their babies, going on runs, riding their bikes. Like, it wasn't like closed off at all. Like, nothing was closed off. Anybody can come in from any which direction and just join the festival. You know what I mean? Like, you coming through a trail, you coming through the hill, this way, that way. It really didn't matter because there was no like, oh, this is the festival, this is where the festival is not. So whatever. Obviously my tent started to be popping because I was offering free makeup, you know what I mean? I was like, yo, like, follow me on Instagram, subscribe to my YouTube channel, you get a free face, even though like you really couldn't do that because the Wi-Fi there was no Wi-Fi, there was no data, there was no service anywhere because I guess so many people were trying to get on their phones that like you just couldn't even log. Nothing was loading for anybody, so a few people like followed me and a few people subscribed to my channel, but after a while it just didn't work. So I think I did like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I did like 5 people before they were like, oh, what vendor are you guys with? Like this really short, ugly on the inside and outside lady was like, what vendor are you guys with? And we were like, we're not with vendor, we're just like here, like, because there's the vendors, and the way they set up the vendors, it was almost like a big rectangle of just white tents, and then our tent was like where people kind of just camp out, if that makes any sense, because there are no seats. There is no lounge area. There is a lounge area, but I think that was only for VIP members. It was like where the BET sign thing was. I really don't know what that was, to be honest. It was pretty, but I did not know what that was. And nobody really explained it. And the sign that was in front of that thing didn't even explain what it was either. But whatever. So we were in more of like the communal camping ground area, like where some people were like having a full-on cookout. Like there was one family who you could tell was just not there for the festival. They were just there having a picnic. Like they brought a grill and they bought like food to grill and they were just having a straight out picnic. That part was like where it kind of got like, okay, what is this area? Who should be in this area? Like, but once again, they had no signs, they had no fences, they had no nothing, so nobody knew. Nobody knew. There were 2 security guards, but they were kind of just chilling next to us. Like, they really didn't care if we were there. So then they, like the lady, oh my god, I keep getting stuff on my teeth. The lady who was like, what vendor are you guys with? She just like walked away from us as we were trying to explain to her what was going on. And to that, I want to put up my middle finger, but read between the lines, chica, read between the lines. Anyways, yeah, so she kind of just walked, she just walked away from us and like stormed off. Then another lady came, but she really didn't speak much English, so it was kind of just like, okay, until y'all can get somebody over here that can clearly clearly communicate to us where we should be, I ain't gonna stop. So then the head of security didn't look like no head of security. If you ask me, he came over and was like, yeah, you guys can't be here because you guys aren't a part of the event. Which I think that wording is very wrong, especially if we paid for a ticket, because what is part of the event really mean? Okay? Wouldn't everyone who showed up be a part of the event? That's what you're conveying, and we're all trying to be Black excellence together. Wouldn't we all be a part of the event? You know what I'm saying? Like, just change your wording, because that was wrong wording. You can say we're not a vendor, even though I tried to be a vendor, but y'all said no. That I'm getting to later. But it was like, yeah, you guys can't be here. You guys can't be on the park grounds. And not even like me and my sister, literally everyone behind us who wanted to get their makeup done was like, this is a public park. Like, you guys have no fencing. You guys have no sign. You guys have no signage that says this area is blocked off for Curlfest. And he really didn't have any comeback to that besides the fact that he just didn't want us to be so close to the event. And at first I was like, okay, so like, is it the table? And he just wouldn't answer the question. Cause like, best believe I would have taken down my table and motherfreaking put my stuff on my blankets and kept it going, but he didn't even want to answer the question. He was just being a little brat, even though he was very big. So we moved our stuff, cause like, everyone but him was kind of like, yeah, we have no idea where he wants you guys to go. Like at the end of the day, because there was no line of demarcation for the festival versus the rest of the park, so it was so confusing for them to try and tell us like, okay, this is where y'all should be. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, okay, like, we'll move back. And then he made us move back even more, which was like, people still came to the tent because people still wanted their freaking makeup done, but they also made a couple other people move. Now, when they made other couple people move, like who were also selling stuff, I mean, they made them move back like a millimeter, which was like, okay, who you help? What is this doing at this point? Absolutely nothing. But there was one vendor, there was one group of people there who were actually a vendor. Like, they paid to be vendors at this event, who got their tent like taken. Like, I guess they showed up, like they were supposed to be at the event by like, I want to say like 9 or 10 o'clock, because the event didn't start until 12, but they didn't get inside of the park until 11. Here's the reason why. They came in from a different way than we did, because there was like far away from the actual spot where the event was going on. There was registration, and that was where we came in from, down a couple streets and all that. And they came in from the back way, but the back way had stairs and like once again, no signage on how to get to Curlfest, and they didn't have like a trolley to push their stuff, and they couldn't drive their car. They didn't take a car, but even if they did take a car, they couldn't drive their car upstairs, you know what I mean? Or they couldn't, even if they had a car, they still wouldn't even be able to drive their stuff into the event. And now that I think about it, people came up to me and my sister and were like, are you the people who need help bringing in your stuff? And we were like, no. Now that I think about it, they were probably talking about them, but they went in the completely opposite direction. Anyways, and then they gave up. After going to search for them near registration, they gave up, so math fake. But they got their table taken from them because they were waiting down by wherever they were for someone to come and like help them pick up their stuff, because they had like a table, boxes, a massage table, and all that stuff. So the people obviously never got to them because they went in the opposite direction, so they weren't able to get into the park until like 11 o'clock. And when they did get into the park, by the time they got there, their vendor area had been taken. Which they said like, oh yeah, you know, there's a wait list, and like if you don't make it by such and such a time, we give it to another vendor. Which to me doesn't make any sense, because number one, you pay. Number two, I'd understand if the vendor wasn't there like by 2. But how was it that you already had like somebody ready to go by 11? Like, that to me made no sense. Because at that point, like, what was the vendor doing? Like, what were those people doing with all their stuff just ready to go? Like, that to me seemed a little fishy, but I didn't believe a damn thing that they said about it. I was like, there's no freaking way. They were probably freaking just like, oh, we have this extra vendor, here you go, here's a nice little spot, whatever. I don't know. So they told them to move in, kind of just told them like, yeah, there's nothing we can do, you can't be on the park grounds, even though they paid like $250 to be there, whatever. They still ended up selling stuff, but they were actually under our tent. Whatever. I'm sorry. Whatever. So, yeah. Now going into the actual festival itself, after we got moved and stuff like that, I didn't end up going into the festival because I was still doing people's makeup and I was so tired. By the time it got to that point, I was like, I'm not gonna, like, I just sat in my makeup chair and I just sat and like rested. Something that was crazy to me was like, literally, the registration line did not die down until like 5-6 o'clock. And the only reason why I know that is because my sister, she went to go get us food and then she went to the registration line, and by the time she got back, like, we were getting ready, you know what I mean, like, we were about to dip, you know. So I'm like, okay, so if people are spending all that time in registration line, how the hell did they see anything in the festival? Not to mention, once you got inside of the festival, because all the general admissions people were already in and doing and looking at all the vendors, the lines for the vendors were ridiculously long. Like, there was a line for everything. There was a line for the bathroom, there was a line for food, there was a line for the vendors. So for food, the wait was like 3 hours. And the only reason why I know that is because my sister and my cousin went to go get us all food, and they were in line for 3 hours. Like, mind you, I couldn't call them, they couldn't call me, because there is no service in that park. Which was like concerning, because it was like, alright, did these people like die? Did they get kidnapped? Like, what's going on? But literally, like, 3 hours later, they came back, and when they came back with the food, it was like, really? We should have just like left and went to IHOP. If we left and went to IHOP, we would have been back before the end of the festival. Like, ridiculous lines. To me, like, they should have had more food trucks. You could have charged more food trucks to be there. Like, not that deep, not that serious. Or, like, they kept kicking people out that were like, you know how some people have those small pushy carts, like with ice cream and hot dogs and stuff on them? They should have had more of those people there too, because there was like a whole section in the back with like trees where people could have gone and gotten food in a shorter amount of time than going to the freaking food trucks and wasting half of the festival waiting for food. Crappy food at that. Just saying. Yeah, it may have been Jamaican food, but you need more seasoning in your chicken. Just throwing that out there. Not throwing sriracha on your freaking chicken wings is not doing me justice. Just so yeah, I think they should have gotten more of those smaller food people to be in the back so that people didn't have to waste 3 hours of their hard-earned money paid trip to freaking wait in line for food. Then, on top of that, there was only like, what, 10? There was only 10 to 15 vendors. 10, 15, 20 vendors. I'll give them. But all of the vendors, except for some, were like already big name brands. Like Shea Moisture, obviously, but I feel like you have to have Shea Moisture there because that's what's gonna get people hype. Palmer's was there. Mango, lime, Jamaican, whatever the freak was there. I don't even know what the name of the brand is really called. I just felt like those are brands that are very, very accessible for everybody. Like, anybody can go in any store and get that brand easily. to me, they should have had smaller vendors be in those tents. Have like one or two of those bigger name brand tents, whatever, that's fine, but have the rest be smaller vendors that people don't really hear about, people don't really know about. Or have all those big brand name vendors and then have the smaller ones maybe not have tents but just have tables. Or maybe not have tents but have like, I don't even know. Or have like they did this at Circle of Sisters. Like they had like a whole area where it was just tables of like small vendors, and then the bigger ones had like freaking tents, tables, and booths and all that. I think that would have been more beneficial, and you would have ultimately made more money if you had more smaller brands there. But honestly, I think y'all played yourself, because the only reason why the festival looked so crowded from where I was standing was because the lines, like if you looked very closely from where I was standing, the only reason why the middle looked packed was because the lines coming in from each side from the vendors was so long. And then they had like a little stage near where I was, and then a bigger stage over there. That's where it was more like clusters of people just standing, but the lines really in the middle is what made it look like, oh my god, there's so many people here. Yeah, there's so many people here because they're not able to see anything. Like, you can't spend 1-2 hours in a line to see a vendor, one vendor, about the freaking way. Then spend another 3 hours waiting on food. Then, not to mention the hours you spend in line trying to register. And speaking of registration, let me show you what you got at registration. You got a bag. I don't have the bag upstairs with me because I just took what was out of it and came upstairs. And I was like, this is ridiculous. But in the bag, obviously it had the Curlfest logo on it. It was a very, if I'm being honest, cheaply made bag. Alright, it reminded me of that stuff that people use, like fashion design students use to like initially cut out whatever they're making so they don't mess up on the actual fabric. I don't know what that's called, but that's what it reminded me of. It was super thin, and then it had the little logo and the Curlfest thing on the front. You got a blanket with Curlfest on it. Curlfest 2018, yay, blanket. And you got a cup. That's it. That is all that was in the bags. That's it. I don't remember what ticket we got. Like, I don't remember the name of it. All I know was the tickets were like $21 for tickets me and my sister had to get because there was no more general admission. Even though you really didn't need a ticket to be general admission. You could have just walked the freak in. There was no... Guys. I understand you may not have been able to put like actual products in the bags because products is expensive, whatever. There was no samples. There was no coupons. There wasn't even business cards for the brands that were there. Like, nothing. Like, you didn't tell your vendors, hey, we're gonna be having this X amount of gift bags, goodie bags, whatever. Can you supply us with papers, like, to promo your business so they can go home and follow you or whatever? They didn't even do that. And it was like, are you freaking serious? We paid that much. We paid money for a freaking cup. Ugly colors, by the way. Why is this yellow? I mean orange. Why is this orange? Why is this green? I would have expected pink, purple, bright blue before freaking green and I'm lost. I'm actually lost by that because it just seems like y'all wasted your money. Like, you guys could have put the cup or just the blanket and then like product samples or a small product or something like that. Even a freaking lip balm. I would have been happy with a freaking lip balm. Yeah, I just feel like the goodie bags was such a waste of time. Like the fact that people were waiting in line for over an hour, over 2 hours, ridiculous. Ridiculous. Waste of time, waste of money in my opinion. With all that being said, here's how I think Curlfest should go. I think if it's gonna be like that, the goodie bags aren't even that popping. 1. 2, there's no line of demarcation for where the hell the freaking festival is, and you're not closing off the park, you're just using the park. That's 2. 3, and I'm gonna be waiting in line for hours anyways, trying to see one vendor and trying to get a meal at this festival. Don't freaking charge for tickets. Do not charge for tickets. Like, that is such a waste of money. It's more like, you should advertise it more as like a picnic. Like a curly girl picnic. Do that. And everybody can come together with their curly hair and sit and enjoy time in the park. That's it. Because all in all, you're not going to be able to see that many vendors. You're not going to be able to see that many products. You're not going to be able to do much there anyways. Like, you're going to be in lines all day. The freak? Like, that's not fun. Also, with that being said, am I going to go back next year? I don't know. Like, even if I go back as a vendor with one of those big tents, how many people am I actually going to see? That's the concern for me. It's like, okay, I can have a tent without them kicking me out, but how many people are going to be able to see the tent? How long are the people who want to see my tent going to be waiting in line to see what we got going on? That's not, to me, that's not fun, that's not festival, that's boring, like, ew. And then would I go back as a regular person? I sure no, absolutely not. Like, I'd just be wasting my time. I didn't see anything special. I didn't get anything special. It was boring. It was very boring. Music was litty, you know. It was good. There wasn't a lot of dancing. People were just interested in getting stuff, seeing stuff. So to me, it's negative. Like, I just won't. I don't want to go. So yeah. One thing that I learned is that I probably should sell one product, because people, when they go to stuff like that, they are literally going to buy stuff. Like, they're not going to just lollygag and fraternize around, they're going to buy stuff, which was disheartening to hear that not many people got to buy stuff or see stuff because they had to wait in so many lines. So yeah, but that to me is like, yeah, you should probably sell something. What should I sell, guys? Comment down below. But yes, guys, that was my kind of recap of Curlfest, getting kicked out of Curlfest. Yay, 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 yay. Thanks so much to security for kicking us out in such a rude way. I don't know, I feel like they should advertise it differently, you know? Like, instead of saying, like, I don't even know what they said. I don't even know what they advertised it as. But they need to advertise it as just a big picnic. Like, you may not be able to see what you want to see, but hey, like, if you want to come, come. And I don't think you should waste your money on buying a ticket, because what you're going to get in your bag is not expected. Just go. Don't even need a ticket, because they don't close out the park. Just literally walk right in and just say what's up, and maybe you'll see somebody cool. I know Jessie Boo was there. I was literally like 50 feet away from her and I didn't even know. So, but yeah, I mean, hopefully their event gets better with the years to come. I think more vendors would definitely help. The fact that people were waiting in line for hours upon hours upon hours. I know somebody fainted. See, this is why you need more vendors. Like, have vendors freaking selling water at the registration line so people don't freaking pass out of heat stroke. Alright? Have vendors selling ice cream and like little snacky things so that while they're waiting in line to get more food or a bigger meal, they're not keeling over, passing out, or wanting to kill someone next to them because they're not getting their food fast enough. Those are my thoughts. Yeah, but I don't know if I'm gonna go back next year. I don't know. Like, to me, how many people would come to my tent? That's where it would be kind of discouraging to go, because it's like there's the lines are ridiculous. There's not enough vendors there to make the lines shorter for the people trying to go. So, yo, no, say. Maybe I'll go, maybe I won't, maybe I'll be there and y'all just won't know. But so yeah, I hope you guys like this little story time video, thoughts, recap thing that I just did. If you want to see this makeup tutorial, I will be posting it soon after, so you guys can see how I achieve this look. Oh yeah, you can follow me on all of my social media. You can follow me on Instagram at APLU28. You can follow me on Snapchat at APLU128. And you can follow me on Twitter at SYRI36966. You know the deal with that. And yeah, guys, I hope to see you all in the next one. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And please tune in for the next video. Bye, guys.